Emperor Hadrian, also known as Publius alias Hadrianus, was a Roman emperor who reigned from 117 to 138 AD, is remembered for several significant achievements during his reign. One of his most notable achievements, Hadrian's Wall, marked the northern boundary of Roman Britain. The wall, which is approximately 73 miles long, was built to protect the empire from the invasion of northern tribes, and also served as a symbol of Roman power and authority. Today, Hadrian's Wall is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a popular tourist attraction. Hadrian shifted the focus of the Roman Empire from expansion to consolidation and defense. He strengthened the military, secured the empire's borders, and implemented strategic fortifications, including the aforementioned Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian was an avid patron of the arts, and his reign saw significant architectural advancements in the empire. Among these was the construction of the Pantheon in Rome, a remarkable and well-preserved example of Roman architecture that still stands today. Hadrian also built the Temple of Venus in Roma, the largest temple in ancient Rome, and the Hadrian's Villa in Tivoli, which was an opulent retreat for the emperor. Hadrian enacted legal reforms that improved the empire's administration and provided greater protection for its citizens, including slaves. He also attempted to create a standardized legal code, known as the Perpetual Edict, which sought to bring greater coherence and consistency to Roman law. Hadrian had a deep admiration for Greek culture, and he worked to promote Hellenic ideals and customs within the Roman Empire. He traveled extensively throughout the empire, visiting many Greek cities and supporting their cultural institutions. He even renamed some cities after himself in the Greek fashion, Hadrianopolis. But above all, the Emperor Hadrian is remembered for his relationship with Antinous. The love story of Emperor Hadrian and Antinous is one of the most famous same-sex relationships in history. Emperor Hadrian met Antinous at the age of 40. Antinous was likely a young boy of around 13 or 14 years old at the time, and he was part of a group of young boys who were serving as attendants for Hadrian's entourage. Their relationship was likely romantic and is often described as a pederastic one, which was a common practice in ancient Greek culture where an older man, typically in a mentorship role, formed an emotional and sexual bond with a younger male. Antinous was born in Bithynia, which was a region in northern Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, that was part of the Roman Empire during his lifetime. Bithynia was known for its rich cultural heritage and its strategic location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, and it was home to many Greek and Roman settlements. Antinous was born into a Greek-speaking family, and little is known about his early life. He likely came from a modest background, but he was known for his exceptional beauty, which made him a favorite of Emperor Hadrian when they met during Hadrian's tour of the eastern provinces of the Roman Empire in 123 AD. According to some accounts, Hadrian was immediately struck by Antinous' beauty and intelligence, and he took the boy under his wing as a favorite companion. Hadrian and Antinous traveled together throughout Egypt, and the emperor reportedly took great pleasure in introducing Antinous to the wonders of the ancient world. Hadrian showered Antinous with lavish gifts, including expensive jewelry, fine clothing, and other luxurious items. It's also said that Hadrian wrote poetry about Antinous and commissioned sculptures and other artworks depicting his likeness. Hadrian elevated Antinous to high positions within the Roman government. Antinous was made a citizen of Rome and was given the title of Eromenos, which was a term used in ancient Greece to describe a young man who was in a same-sex relationship with an older man. Hadrian appointed Antinous as his personal advisor and made him the commander of the elite cavalry unit known as the Hetegroi. According to some historical accounts, Antinous drowned in the Nile River in 138 AD while on a hunting trip with Hadrian. It is said that after Antinous died, Hadrian was inconsolable with grief. He ordered that the young man's body be removed from the river and embalmed. Hadrian declared him a god and founded a city called Antinopolis in his honor. Antinopolis was built near the spot where Antinous drowned in the Nile River in Egypt. Antinous was buried there, and his tomb became a place of pilgrimage for the followers of the new cult of Antinous. Antinopolis was designed as a model Roman city with a grid plan, a forum, a theater, and temples dedicated to the cult of Antinous. The city became an important religious center for the worship of Antinous, who was declared a god by Hadrian. Antinopolis also became a thriving commercial center, with its strategic location on the Nile River, making it an important hub for trade between Upper Egypt and the Mediterranean. The city was inhabited by a diverse population, including Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. Despite its importance, Antinopolis declined in the 4th century AD due to a combination of factors, including the rise of Christianity and the decline of the Roman Empire. The city was eventually abandoned, and its ruins were buried under the sand. Today, the site of Antinopolis is located in the modern city of Sheikh-Abada in Egypt. Excavations have revealed the remains of many of the city's buildings and monuments, including the temples of Antinous and Serapis, the theater, and the forum. Many of the artifacts recovered from the site are now housed in museums around the world, including the British Museum and the Louvre Museum. The exact location of Antinous' tomb is not known, and it is believed to have been lost over time. However, there are still some monuments and sculptures dedicated to Antinous that can be found in museums and archaeological sites around the world, including the British Museum, the Louvre Museum, and the Vatican Museums. Emperor Hadrian made several coins featuring the likeness of Antinous after his death. These coins are known as the Antinoianus, and they were issued in various denominations throughout the Roman Empire. The coins featured a portrait of Antinous on the obverse front side, often with the inscription Antinou or Antinut, the latter spelling using the Greek letter sigma instead of the Roman S. The reverse back side of the coin varied, but often featured an image of a deity or mythological figure. The Antinoianus coins were issued in large numbers, and they were widely distributed throughout the Roman Empire. They serve as a way for Hadrian to honor Antinous and cement his legacy as a beloved figure in Roman culture. Today, the Antinoianus coins are highly collectible and are prized by coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we are well aware that Hadrian had a close and intimate relationship with Antinous, and it is known that he had other male lovers throughout his life. But one of Hadrian's laws, issued in 126 AD, did provisions that punished male prostitution and homosexual acts committed in public or involving a Roman citizen. The law in question, known as the Lex Scantinia, was actually enacted several decades before Hadrian came to power, but it remained in effect throughout his reign. The law prohibited sexual acts between men, including those that were consensual and private, but it focused primarily on punishing those who engaged in such acts in public or with Roman citizens. Those found guilty of violating the law could be subjected to fines, public humiliation, and in some cases, even death. It is worth noting that Hadrian's relationship with Antinous, a young man, was open and widely known, and it did not seem to have led to any legal or political repercussions for the emperor. This suggests that if the Lex Scantinia was still in effect during Hadrian's reign, it was not being strictly enforced or applied, at least not to the emperor himself. While Emperor Hadrian is primarily remembered for his relationship with Antinous, there is evidence to suggest that he had other romantic relationships throughout his life. In ancient Rome, it was not uncommon for men to have sexual relationships with both men and women, and the emperor was no exception. One of Hadrian's most well-known affairs was with a woman named Vivia Sabina, who he later married and made Empress of Rome. Hadrian and Sabina Plotia were married in 100 AD, shortly after Hadrian was appointed governor of Lower Pannonia, a Roman province in Central Europe. Sabina was the daughter of a Roman senator, and her family was politically connected and wealthy. Despite their marriage, Hadrian and Sabina had a tumultuous relationship. They had no children together, and there were rumors that Sabina was unfaithful to the emperor. According to some accounts, Hadrian was emotionally abusive to Sabina, and there were even rumors that he had tried to poison her at one point. Despite these difficulties, Sabina remained Empress of Rome throughout Hadrian's reign, and she accompanied him on many of his travels throughout the Roman Empire. However, she was often overshadowed by Hadrian's relationships with other men. After Hadrian's death in 138 AD, Sabina retired from public life and lived quietly in Rome until her death. Despite their troubled relationship, Hadrian and Sabina are remembered as an important power couple in Roman history, and their marriage reflects the complex and often unpredictable nature of Roman politics and society. Hadrian had a close relationship with Caius Fuscus Salinator, who was a Roman general and politician. Salinator was appointed consul in 118 AD, and he accompanied Hadrian on several of his travels throughout the Roman Empire. He was born into a prominent Roman family and was known for his military prowess and political skill. According to some accounts, Hadrian and Salinator were close friends and lovers. Salinator accompanied Hadrian on many of his travels throughout the Roman Empire and was an important advisor to the emperor. Tragically, Salinator died in battle in the same year, while fighting against the Sarmatians in modern-day Romania. His death was a significant loss for the Roman Empire, and Hadrian was devastated by the news. According to the historian Cassius Dio, Hadrian was inconsolable after Salinator's death and even considered taking his own life in grief. To honor Salinator's memory, Hadrian commissioned a statue of him which was placed in the Roman Forum. The statue depicted Salinator as a heroic figure, and it was an important symbol of Hadrian's grief and respect for his friend.